Start.
As you know that the election in the state Jammu and Kashmir is commencing soon. So, as usual, the political situation in Jammu and Kashmir rises from normal to abnormal due to the fact that there is a freedom struggle in one hand and the other rightist movement on the other hand. And actually overall this is a rightist movement in which perspective we say, but the movement of independence, as all knows that it has started through the time of Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah, when the reading room group was formed there in Kashmir and in 1820s. In 1920s when first political group in the form of reading room was formed in the Kashmir, and the same type of political group was also formed in Jammu province of state also, and which conceptualize the things within the community of the Kashmiris. And other hand, where there was the king ruler Maharaja Hari Singh, his autocratic rule and the general masses of the Kashmir, there rises a conflict between the masses and the ruler, and this was actually the anger of general masses against the autocratic rule of Maharaja Hari Singh.
Okay.
So by the time the process goes on, the Kashmiris were getting more and more education, more and more awareness, and although they were also inspired by the independent movement of the India and all movements, freedom movements going across the world as well. And in 1924, a leader from which thereafter became the leader of the state, namely Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah, who joined the reading room group. And after some time, this reading room group turned into a reading room party. When actually this was the intellectual group, I mean to say, some educated youths of this state used to discuss political issues, economic issues, sociological issues in that group, and continue to this process. That group start mobilizing the general masses against the autocratic rule of Maharaja Hari Singh. Actually, I goes behind why? Because there was the start of struggle of the Kashmiris for a independent rule, or we can say for freedom. Because in one hand, India was also wanting freedom. India was also wanting freedom from the imperialistic rule of the Britishers, and the struggle goes on. This reading room group converted into Muslim conference in 1928. In 1928, Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah, a young leader of Kashmir, lead this group and turn it into Muslim conference 1928, and gave a slogan, Kashmir for Kashmiris.
Okay.
This slogan is very important, Kashmir for Kashmiris. And when this slogan reached to the doors of the general masses, a fire burnt in the minds of the people, and its political movement start across the whole state. But there was a mistake in this movement, that the Hindu community were not joining the Muslim conference because due to its name. Due to its name, Muslim conference, because they were saying that as it is for this organization is meant for only Muslim, then why we should join this Muslim conference? But in 1932, Muslim conference gave a call of General Assembly, gave a call of General Conference, and in that conference, this Muslim conference passed a resolution that the name of Muslim conference will be changed to National Conference.
Okay.
And when they renamed their organization as National Conference, which earlier was Muslim Conference, many Hindus also joined this now National Conference, and gave a push back to the autocratic rule of Maharaja. In simultaneously in this conference, National Conference passed two resolutions, gave to one the Kashmir Manifesto and second economic plan for Jammu and Kashmir. In Kashmir Manifesto, they demand that the state, that the country, not state, country Jammu and Kashmir need a responsible government, because Maharaja has pushed the Kashmiris, or we can say was pushing the Muslim masses away from the politics, or we can say away from the cabinet, the ruling structure, and the masses were angry. So when a great movement start in the whole Kashmir, because they want a responsible government in the state, for which the National Conference hardly work. But in this movement, keeping this movement aside, there helps a tragedy. The tragedy was on October 20, 1947. In October 20, 1947, some Kabylis, with the help of Pakistan, attacked the Kashmir. Why they attacked the Kashmir? Because in 14 August 1947, India got the bifurcation. Pakistan get the freedom on 14 August. India get the freedom on the 15 August. But at that time, state Jammu and Kashmir was not the part of the Indian territory as the Hyderabad was. At that time, Indian government proposed a document called Instrument of Accessions, and through Instrument of Accessions, every territory joined the Indian dominion, and India became a republic. But Jammu and Kashmir put a document before the government of India and the government of Pakistan. This document was forwarded to the Pakistan. Pakistan signed the treaty with the Jammu and Kashmir. In that document, there was that we want to remain independent. We want to remain independent, and we are not going to join any dominion, not Pakistan, not India. But when the Kabylis attacked the state country Jammu and Kashmir, at that time they attacked. Why? Because at the same time when that document was sent to the Indian government refused to sign, and the conspiracy start. Pakistan think that the India will capture the state Jammu and Kashmir, and he backs the rebellions, and rebellions attacked the state Jammu and Kashmir on 20 October 1947. On 21st October 1947, Maharaja Hari Singh left the Kashmir and moved to the Jammu. Then on 22, he come to the New Delhi and proposed to the Indian government that the state Jammu and Kashmir is in a very critical situation and the government of India should help Jammu and Kashmir. But the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, then the Prime Minister of the Indian Dominion, refused to make help to the state Jammu and Kashmir, because he said that the state Jammu and Kashmir is not the part of the Indian, is not part of the Indian Republic. That's why we can't help you. And if you want help, you have to sign Instrument of Accession. Maharaja Hari Singh make the emergency administrator Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah. Maharaja Hari Singh make the Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah a emergency administrator of the state, and after discussion they sign the Instrument of Accession with the government of India to take shelter, to attack, to resist against the attack of the rebels. Although Indian government came, Indian forces, Indian army came, and they forced the rebellions behind, and there is near the Sindh, near Jhelum river, where this time his Aman Setu, their Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah says that apart from this, we don't need, and there put it the ceasefire. This time we no deadline has a LOC, and the land which was earlier part of the country Jammu and Kashmir, no, in this time is in the possession of Pakistan, is known as Azad Kashmir. Actually, that part is in the domain of Pakistan, but the name has given as Azad Kashmir. Actually, this I am saying the historical context of the state Jammu and Kashmir. And after that, when the India held the Constituent Assembly, which worked from 1947 to the 1950, as in 1950 they presented their document, Indian Constitution. Six members from the Jammu and Kashmir was also invited to become the part of the Constituent Assembly of the Indian Dominion. Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah was leading that group. They made the agreement with the Indian government through the constitution that India will remain the part of the Indian dominion, but they signed some agreements, and that agreement was Article 370. What this signed, what they conversate on which issues they help each other was Article 370. The Constitution of India in Article 370 gave us a 13-point program. One is that the state Jammu and Kashmir will have their own constitution. First, the state Jammu and Kashmir will have their own flag. The state Jammu and Kashmir will have their own prime minister. The state Jammu and Kashmir will have their own president, which were known as Sadr Riyasat. The state will have own Supreme Court. The state will have their own commission. The state will not accept if the India will go under the emergency, the state will not accept that, and if also the India will go under financial emergency or any other type of emergency, this will not be applicable to the state Jammu and Kashmir. And some double citizenship, the citizenship of the state Jammu and Kashmir will be the citizen of Jammu and Kashmir and the India as well. And some 2-3 points which I am forgetting at this time, and this was the Article 370. But now, as you have seen in the recent past, that some political parties in the country are saying that there is need to scrap the Article 370. If the Article 370 will be scrapped from the Indian Constitution, it means that they will scrap the Jammu and Kashmir from the Indian map. First thing. But Article 370 in the present in itself is a contradictory. Why? Because Article 370, the Indian government kept only 3 things in the Indian dominion. That is defense, one, second communication, and third postal service. Only 3 subjects were in the hands of the Indian dominion, and the rest of all will work according to the Constitution of J&K. But in the recent time, Article 370 in itself is in very critical situation and is debated. Why? Because we don't, in Article 370 or in our Constitution, there is that we have our own Prime Minister, but in fact we don't have Prime Minister, we have no Chief Minister. There is that we have presidents or Sadr Riyasat, but in recent we don't have Sadr Riyasat or president, we have governor. We don't have our own Supreme Court. The financial emergency is now applicable to the state Jammu and Kashmir. The financial emergency, the political emergency is applicable to the state Jammu and Kashmir, and like. But we have in the recent we have separate flag, we have separate constitution, and we have separate citizenship. Only 3 things have remained left in Article 370. Only, which are on ground. What I am saying, which are on ground. But The masses of the Jammu and Kashmir has been wrongly politicized by the different parties. Some are saying that we should scrap Article 370 and some are saying that we should not scrap Article 370. But in reality, Article 370 is not there in real sense, because it has lost its identity as it has lost its 9 subjects and we have 3 subjects only. Then how we can say that Article 370 is there? Yes, we can say that we have 3 points in our hands, but we cannot say that Article 370 is fully there. So these political parties are just exploiting the general masses by saying that some are saying that it should be there, some saying that it should not be there, but actually they are exploiting the general masses in terms of politicization, or we can say socialization as well. As in the one hand, education is not there, general awareness is not there, poverty is there, and etc. etc. Employment is on very high rate in J&K. And the most interesting thing, Jammu and Kashmir in the corruption list, Jammu and Kashmir, no, is it in the second position? Jammu and Kashmir in the corruption list lies its position on the second number. And I can sincerely say that perhaps to come to the number second, perhaps they have followed the path of the corruption as well. Otherwise, I think that the state Jammu and Kashmir lies on number 1 in corruption. It is number 1 in unemployment. Criminalization is increasing in the state. The public departments are so far from the general masses. The government policies are against the general masses, and some other policies of the state as well. This was what I am saying, the historical context, but the present situation is that as the elections are coming, BJP has put forth the agenda 44 plus. On the other hand, a party, PDP, is also saying that 44 plus is our agenda, and some Hurriyat saying that we have boycott the elections, and the general masses is in the frustration.
What about the left party saying? What are the left party saying?
Actually, left in the state Jammu and Kashmir, if I sincerely say, they had not put their ideas so sincerely to the masses. They have kept their ideas within the boundary walls of their offices and their books. They have not explored their ideas, they have not magnified their ideas among the masses of the state. And there is a disconnection between the left parties and the masses. Although there is one MLA of Yusuf Taragami from the CPM, although he is there, but I have never seen him to raise questions on the pattern of left ideology. I have never seen.
Recently, our Telangana MP Kavita pointed out Azadi Kasmir is separated.
What?
Azadi Kasmir. Recently, our TRS ML MP in Parliament, she raised one question. Azadi Kasmir is still alive in Kasmir. We are supporting that one.
Yes, if the left is supporting the Azadi, it's a natural deal. It's a natural deal of the left, because we are against imperialism, we are against authoritarian rule, we are against the forceful acceptance. And